And still staying with the Guardian newspaper, SEC launches digital regulatory hub to strengthen oversight. And Governor Zulum pledges support for security agencies. Femi Falana urges federal government others to end digital repression, uphold press freedom. And relief in Cotonou as the Nigerian Air Force Joint Force repel coup plotters in Benin Republic. All right, we move on to the Punch newspaper now. Security crisis, Tinubu, Macron hold talks as U.S. fact-finders arrive. Nigeria will be lending to nations by 2026. Who is saying that? First Lady Senator Remi Tinubu. And Nnamdi Kanu acted like Awolowo by disengaging lawyers. That's according to consultant. Okay. Coastal Highway, Cross River residents get 1 billion naira compensation. And Ekiti 2026, political parties lock horns after governorship primaries. Olubadan urges vigilance in Yoruba land over insecurity. And still staying with the Punch newspaper, Pengasson, Dangote rift widens over salary suspension. Defection rumors rise as Fubara faces mounting assembly fire. Nigeria's World Bank debt to hit $9.65 billion. And PDP crisis, Wike bloc plans state Congress's national convention. And Tinubu praises Nigerian troops for helping foil coup in Benin Republic. All right, we move on to the Vanguard newspaper. Democracy survives. How Benin Republic coup failed. That's according to the federal government. Amid blackouts, NERC experts clash as Disco's revenue rises to 1.7 trillion naira. And PDP crisis, Wike's camp moves to reorganize state chapters, conduct fresh congresses, conventions. All right, still staying with the Vanguard newspaper. On terrorism, no one can remain a spectator, says Macron after phone call with Tinubu. This newspaper is next now. How Tinubu ordered Nigeria's military to foil Benin coup. ADC to OB, make up your mind now. And federal government backs creative sector as Zuma Festival ends in Abuja. And France offers to help defeat terrorism. Ribado meets U.S. Congressman, 100 children released in Niger. All right, we move on to the Sun newspaper now. Tinubu lauds Nigeria's armed forces for protecting democracy in Benin Republic. From the Sun to the Tribune newspaper, coup attempt, how Tinubu sends fighter jets to save Benin's democracy. And ECOWAS condemns attempted military takeover in Benin Republic. And Benin Republic presidency breaks silence on military takeover. The Cable newspaper now, 100 Catholic school children abducted in Niger State regain freedom. And Benin Republic requested Nigeria's air ground troops to squash coup, says presidency. And ECOWAS orders deployment of standby force to Benin Republic after failed coup. Ribado hosts U.S. lawmakers, pushes for stronger counter-terrorism partnership. Macron says France will intensify counter-terrorism assistance to Nigeria. Direct assault on democracy. Federal government condemns attempted coup in Benin Republic. And Wike-backed PDP faction holds BOT meeting in Abuja. All right, we move on to the New Telegraph now. 500 billion naira debt. ADC says APC insensitive to plight of Nigerians. Still staying with New Telegraph, Shettima leaves for Abidjan to represent Tinubu at Ouattara's inauguration. And prioritize welfare, security, not 2027 politics. Labour Party reps urge Tinubu. And Alaafin congratulates Oni on the 10th coronation. Okay. And journalist harassment. IPI Nigeria urge federal government to caution state security agencies. All right, we move on to the Nation newspaper now. Ribadu in talks with U.S. fact-finding congressional delegation. A Nigerian Air Force chief visit injured pilots, commends personnel coordination. And Yola law students commit suicide over refusal to take final examination. Sad one there. PDP faction sets up National Caretaker Committee. And Nigeria sends fighter jets, ground troops as troops foil coup in Benin Republic. And overzealous aides should not breed disaffection in Ondo APC. And on show 2026 APC NWC to deliberate on appeal verdict on Omishire Alabi others. All right, we move on to penpushing.com now, and the list story here. The sad one here. Police inspector shot dead at checkpoint. And still staying with penpushing.com, Awujale stool. Ruling House asked Wasiu Ayinde to prove his royal lineage by December 10th. And the failed coup, Benin Republic government arrests dozens of soldiers. Still staying with the pen-pushing, America delegation arrives Nigeria, meets Ribadu on strategic security partnership. And Corporate Affairs Commission threatens clampdown on unregistered point-of-sale operators. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we return, the program will resume for the second half of the show, where we look at some of the stories in details. It's still Super Citizen newspaper review on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Please don't go away. The program will be back in a moment.
It's our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Top Radio 93.7 Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated. Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, We believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dreams. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Yeah. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Epa! Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Shiki, shiki, shiki. Citizen FM, Citizen FM.
Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this
is your station.
Talk Radio 93.
All right, thank you much for staying tuned. It's still Super Citizen Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. And this is the second half of the show where we look at some of the stories in details. And this is also the part where we open up our phone lines. Now, the lines are open now. You can call us on 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818-2222-205. Don't forget that you can also send us a WhatsApp message in case you don't want to make a voice call. So there we are, and we have in the studio Mr. Salman Salami. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Very good morning to you, Lawrence, and very, very good morning to our Super Citizen listeners.
All right, we start off with the Vanguard newspaper. Democracy survives. How Benin Republic coup failed federal government. President Bola Tinubu yesterday commended the gallantry of Nigeria's military for responding swiftly to requests by the government of the Benin Republic to save its 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters who struck at dawn yesterday. A statement by his special advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, said the federal government's acting on two separate requests from the government of Benin. President Tinubu first ordered Nigerian Air Force fighters to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and a military camp where they had regrouped. The presidency said the Republic of Benin, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a note verbal, requested immediate Nigerian air support in view of the urgency and seriousness of the situation, and to safeguard the constitutional, protect national institutions, and ensure the security of the population. In the second request, the authorities in Benin requested the deployment of Nigerian Air Force assets within Benin's airspace for surveillance and rapid intervention operations under Benin-led coordination. Salam.
Well, I will say yes. Thank God that the coupists have been dislodged. And what does that tell you? That the West African sub-region is a place to watch. when democracy is the issue. ECOWAS, generally speaking, has a problem in its hand. As we speak, the junta in Mali, they are still holding fort. In Burkina Faso, it is the military. In which other one? Mali, Burkina Faso, and Benin was almost taken over yesterday, the day before yesterday. You see, it goes beyond the forceful takeover of government by the military. The question you should ask is this: is democracy working in Africa, especially sub-African region, the sub-region, ECOWAS? The answer is in the air. But let me make this point. It is not the duty of the military to take over government in any part of the sub-region, indeed, in any part of Africa. But it is so clear that our politicians, especially in this part of the world, have to up their game. They have to make government and governance responsive and responsible to the people in such a way that the so-called dividends of democracy should at all times be delivered to the people. Look at what happened in Benin Republic. For quite some years, about 3 decades now or more, the country has been enjoying democracy. And in fact, some people even believe that it is stable, that the country is stable, until the push or the near push that happened day before yesterday. And don't let us forget the Big Brother Africa, the role that Nigeria played immediately based on request from the country. Truth be told, the military should know that it is not their duty to take over government. It is not. It's unconstitutional. It's unlawful. And it should not be allowed to stay. The other time I was discussing with you that this standby force, and you said which force. I'm very sure that you saw something yesterday. I will leave it at that for now.
Okay, let's move on to the Punch newspaper. Security crisis, Tinubu, Macron hold talks as U.S. fact-finders arrive. President Bola Tinubu and his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, on Sunday held talks on the security crisis facing the country, touching on areas of collaboration. In a message posted on X, Macron said he spoke with President Tinubu and affirmed that France will strengthen its partnership with Nigerian authorities. And there's a quote here: I spoke with President Tinubu of Nigeria. I conveyed France's solidarity in the face of various security challenges, particularly the terrorist threat in the north. At his request, that's at President Tinubu's request, we will strengthen our partnership with the authorities and support for the affected population. We call on all our partners to step up their engagement. No one can remain a spectator, the French president added.
Well, we all know that there is a rapport between our president and the French president, both at the personal level and at the national level. They are friends. It's expected that France will come to the aid of Nigeria, and that's a good development. But I don't want us to see it as now having friends based on what Trump said he would do, and France coming in to tell us that yes, we will support you. The truth is this: Nigeria can be saved by Nigerians. That is essentially speaking. Yes, we welcome friendship, partnership, and support. But the problem of Nigeria can only be solved by Nigeria. That is the main thing. The question now is this: are we ready to solve our problem? Are we ready to look inward? Are we ready to own up or own our country? Are we prepared to make government work? Are we prepared to spread joy all over the country? Those are the questions that we should ask. And the moment we as Nigerians resolve to make this country work, it will work.
All right, let's still talking about international collaboration. Ribado in talks with U.S. fact-finding congressional delegation, and this is from The Nation newspaper. Support for Nigeria's anti-terror war by world leaders is building up. Yesterday, French President Emmanuel Macron, we've just spoken about that. Okay, before we continue, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Lawrence.
Good morning, sir. Is that Oluwatosin?
Listen.
All right, good to have you this morning. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'll be very brief as much as possible. Yes, I am listening to the elderly person in the studio, Mr.
Tosin, your line is not clear. Could you move?
Not clear.
Okay, it's better now. It's better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, better now.
Yes, I just want to quickly add to what our elderly person in the studio is talking about concerning Benin Republic coup that was void.
Tosin, I'm sorry, we'll have to cut you off. We can barely hear you. Maybe you could just call back again. I think the network is better. Okay. All right, we're talking about Ribado in talks with the U.S. fact-finding congressional delegation. Meanwhile, the phone lines are 0322299797 and 0818222205. You can also send us a WhatsApp message, and we will be glad to read your message. So this is a story from The Nation newspaper. It's talking about Ribado in talks with U.S. fact-finding congressional delegation. And this is coming after the phone call between the French and Nigerian presidents. Okay, support for... Okay, I think... let's see this. We have another caller here. I think this is still from...
Hello, good morning, Mr. Lawson.
Good morning. I think this one is clear. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much. I will be very brief as much as possible.
Yeah.
I want to quickly kind of warn about, but in a different perspective a bit. With Nigerians today, wherever they are and they're listening to me, is that we should be thanking our God Almighty. I'm taking from the perspective of spiritual intervention from God. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now, in Nigeria today, we are enjoying the privilege and the grace of Almighty God. Now, this school that was almost coming through in Benin Republic, it should be a clarion call to the entire African countries. It should be a kind of call to AU and, of course, to ECOWAS. Now, the point is, if the politicians are not shifting their positions in delivering dividends of democracy to Africans, things may be going in this direction. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Nigerians today, because we are giants of Africa, everybody is coming in this direction. And to the call or the reaction of the president of United States of America, who had wanted to come to Nigeria to make some reactions. See now that things are changing. Everybody is now sitting tight, sitting very well in terms of this security issue that is surrounding Nigeria. But of course, the point I'm making today is just that we have democracy. And if need be, let African leaders, let them come on a single table and fashion out African democracy, not American or British democracy. Because I'm not saying it working for Africa. And if it's working, our politicians They should told us very good and truthful nature of democracy as they are copying, as they want it to be, as they are doing in America or Britain. Today, America, there is what we call dividends of democracy. There's a great number. Let me give you an example. Unemployment everywhere in Africa. Go to any part of this country, and this is giving a lot of people a serious headache. How can African be growing every day? They don't have anything. You cannot be too sure of feeding yourself on a 3 square meals. And it is very terrible. So the point is, let all our politicians be on their feet. Let them be ready to do the true democracy we are talking about, so that all Africans, even Nigerians, will be better for it, and everybody will say, okay, this is our own democracy, we are living for it, and we are getting the better, we are enjoying it. If Nigerians, Africans will be reacting. They are human beings. They are human beings in uniform. They have families. Not all of them that, they are in the army, but they have families who are civilians, and they know what they are going through. The point now is, please, let African leaders take democracy and go by it and give what we call thorough and appropriate dividends of democracy, so that coup will not be coming in. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwatosin. Although you said you were going to be very brief, but, well, better late than never. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Sami, we're talking about the NSA meeting with congressional delegation from the United States, all in a bid to rally around Nigeria as it battles the insecurity situation.
Yes, I will respond to that, but let me first say one or two things to our last caller said. First thing is this. He talk about the African democracy. We still need to ask him later to tell us more about his own idea of African democracy. Be it as it may, I'm comfortable with the suggestion that there is the need for Africans to make sure that good governance is the order of the day in the whole of Africa. What exactly do we mean by good governance? Government that is capable of solving the basic, irreducible minimum problems of our people. That is the first thing. Then secondly, this American democracy or parliamentary government in UK that he alluded to, it is not perfect, even in their own place. The only problem is that the democracy, whether presidential or parliamentary system, will be run by people. Are we really following the rules of the game? Allow participatory and inclusive democracy be the order of the day in this climate? Do we allow the laws and the rules to govern our conduct? What I'm saying in effect is that there is no democracy in the vacuum.
Okay, just a minute, Mr. We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who's on the line?
How was the weekend, sir? My regards to our daddy in the house, sir.
Is that Salami there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Mr. Abayomi. I'm calling from Abuja.
All right. Okay, please go ahead.
Sir, I will just try to, when people call, when we call, like what we talk of democracy, how can the ordinary citizen be? It's when we start from local level. Even at all in the America that we are talking about, each we have municipal and each state has its own, in fact, to the extent of custom. That custom, Chicago has its own policy, what will enter a state. And apart from that, I was listening to Dan Kuti on Saturday after a meeting with the president. He said, if you go to the airport and see where they park jets, that you're always unhappy. That you see jets, nowhere to see, they should stop buying Rolls Royce. How many of our people, you see a person that we don't know the source of business, he has 2 or 3 Rolls Royce. He said they should be building industry. If all those ones are the big one industry now in this local government, are we not going to feel the difference? Even at all in the America that we are talking about, is it the government that is it not private sector? When they did in Abuja, they graduated about 75 students of Misuku or Medica. They now give one guy the award. The guy now said, the man said, what make him to come back is that even at all in the America that is private sector, they are supporting the school. Where is all those ones are? We know we are not feeling, but just like what Daddy said, the military one that we are talking, is it not woman? They are women too. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Abayami. Okay, Mr. Lamy, can conclude your thought. You were talking about African homegrown democracy.
Well, all I would just say is this. We have a lot to do, we Africans as a people, and of course our government too. But we should be alive and kicking. We should know that democracy is all about people. And sovereignty belongs to the people. And we, the people, should be ready to do our own part and hold our government accountable at all tiers. We should be ready to hold government accountable. The word is eternal vigilance. That's the price.
All right, it's still Super Citizen Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. The phone lines are open. You can join the conversation. 0903-2229-797. You can also call us on 0818-2222-205. All right, we move on to the Guardian newspaper, away from the Benin Republic story to our own issues here in Nigeria. Federal government secures release of 100 abducted Niger pupils as 153 pupils, 12 teachers remain in captivity. The federal government is said to have secured the release of 100 school children abducted from St. Mary's private Catholic primary and secondary schools in Papiri in Niger State. The development comes 2 weeks after a bandits attack. Okay, just a moment. We have another caller here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think we lost that. Well, you can call back 0818-2222-205 or 0903-2229-797. All right, we're talking about the release of 100 abducted students. It was gathered that although details of the releases are still sketchy as at the time of filing this report, the Guardian could not independently confirm if ransom was paid or if they were released unconditionally. However, sources confirm that the rescued pupils are currently receiving medical evaluation and will be reunited with their families after debriefing.
Well, we still have 153 with the bandits, and only 100 students were released after almost 2 weeks. We should interrogate this thing properly. Are we losing? Are we overwhelmed? So now, out of the 250, we were able to get 100. How did we get them? It's still sketchy. Whether ransom was paid, or whether it was negotiated, or whether it was our troops that forced them to surrender and got the 100 people freedom. The important thing is this. For now, let us get all our people back home. Let us get the victims back. It is too much of pain and agony on the part of the families of the abductees. And I want the federal government to ensure that bandits do not have their way. We should not be reacting. We should not be reactionary. We should be proactive about this issue. I don't want a situation whereby they will force abduct, then we'll start thinking of how to get them released. No. We should be proactive about this. We should not even give them breathing space. They should not even have a way. Lawrence, I think there's a need for us to keep on playing the situation room every 30 minutes so that we can draw serious attention to the agony of our people. It should not be the order of the day. It has gotten to a level where they will adopt 200, and when we are able to secure the release of 50, we say, yes, thank God, we have released 50. How? This is not our story. This is not a good narrative. And I think General Chris Musa should please know that Nigerians have a lot of expectation from him. He should sit up.
All right, let's move back to the Vanguard newspaper. And this time around, let's look at issues within the political parties. First, let's start with let's start with the APC. Yes, okay. On Shoe polls, APC in turmoil as Omisore others blow hot over mass disqualification. The crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress in Osun State deepened on Saturday after 6 of the 7 disqualified governorship aspirants, led by former National Secretary of the party, Senator Yola Omisore, rejected the decision of the screening panel, describing it as a politically motivated hashed job that threatens the parties. Only 2 of the 9 aspirants who appeared before the screening committee were cleared, while 7, including Omisore, were disqualified. Speaking on behalf of the aggrieved aspirants, Omisore Joker's report of the year, that's in quote, alleging that the panel submitted multiple contradictory documents and that the version taken to the party secretariat was not the authentic report. Mr. Salami.
Well, politicians will always politic. 9 aspirants came before the screening panel, and 7 were disqualified. And of course, some of the reasons were that they were not sponsored by financial members of the party. Well, it is still subject to appeal, and the APC as a party should avoid the banana peel. And the party should ensure that aspirants, irrespective of which side of the divide they belong, are fairly and justly treated.
All right, still talking about political parties. This time, let's move from APC to PDP now. A PDP crisis, Wike Khan moves to reorganize state chapters, conduct fresh congresses and conventions. The factional board of the trustees of the Wike camp in the PDP has unveiled a major internal restructuring plans to reorganize troubled state chapters and prepare the grounds for fresh congresses and a national convention. Chairman of the factional board of trustees, Chairman, that's Senator Mao Wauba, who disclosed this at the opening session of the board's meeting, said the group was committed to rebuilding PDP from within and restoring public confidence in its internal processes.
The whole thing is getting messier. You recall that the Ibadan convention, Turaki was elected as
the national
chairman. And Mao Abungwa is the national chairman of the Wike's faction. And the 2 national chairmen and ESCO, they have been sacking and resacking, or how do I put it? Because in the papers day before yesterday and yesterday, there was this disclaimer from the Wike's camp, whereby they disclaim about 18 members who were on the side of the Turaki camp. You see, all these things you are seeing, they are all prelude to the 2027 election. And it is supremacy for the soul of the parties, both at the state and at the federal level. At the national level. But the thing is this, it shows clearly that there is no internal democracy in all the parties. And the parties are not obeying their rules. They set these rules for themselves. Why is it that they are not obeying the rules? For as long as they do not obey their own rules, this type of problem. And of course, what happened in Zamfara is not lost on all of us up to today. For those who do not know, it was the court that sacked all the winners in APC. And that is why Zamfara is a PDP state today. We should learn to obey the rules. Allow ego and selfish interest to override national and political interests.
All right, still talking about political parties, let's move on to the ADC now. And ADC to be, this is from this day newspaper, ADC to be, make up your mind now. The African Democratic Congress has asked the 2023 presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, to make up his mind about joining the party. The party said although Obi was an important political leader needed in its coalition, it would not compel him to join its fold. The party said the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, who had made similar position to declare for ADC after off-season election, had done the needful. This is coming on the heels of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's visit to former President Goodluck Jonathan. The meeting between Atiku and the former president was believed to be part of consultation. Okay, back to the main story. The spokesman of ADC, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, who didn't want to force Obi to hasten his position, said since almost all off-season elections were over, said the priority of the party was to convince Nigerians that it was a credible alternative. Mr. Salami.
Well, like we said, that towards on our way to 2027, there will be alignment and realignment of political forces. And Vice President Atiku Abubakar is already in ADC. Malam El-Rufai had left, in fact, did he leave SDP or SDP did not accept him? The fact remains that he too is now in ADC. And quite many others too are warming up to join ADC. But the spokesperson of ADC, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, had told the chief economist, Peter Obi, that he should make up his mind if he's part of them. So he should show up and answer his name. And if he's not, he should tell them on time. You see, the groupings as it is very, very easy to analyze. But that is not our job here. Our job is just to let our people understand and have a correct perspective of what the papers are saying. The truth as it is today is that Peter Obi is neither here nor there, because we do not know exactly who he belongs to. That is if he is still in Labour Party. But for now, he has not told anybody that he's not in ADC, even though he has not registered as a card-carrying member.
All right, let's leave politics alone for a moment and look at the media. New Telegraph has a story, journalist harassment, IPI urges federal government to caution states and security agencies. The Internet Institute has called on the federal government to call state governments and security agencies to order over the continuous harassment of journalists. IPI Nigeria made the call in a communique signed by its president and Secretary General after its 2025 conference and annual general meeting. The twin events attended by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Minister of Information and National Orientation, were held in Abuja. Okay, the IPI appealed to the federal government to prevail on state government and security agencies to stop harassment of journalists and address the culture of impunity against them. The body said harassment of journalists had resulted in Nigeria's falling ranking in 2025. Salam.
I am in support of the call to the state governments and security agencies to leave journalists alone. Journalists are not your enemy. Journalists don't create news. They only report news. And there is a need for us to have press freedom in the real sense of the word, but with responsibility. We should be self-censoring as journalists too, because we must be responsible. We cannot just do whatever we think we like or publish whatever we think we want to publish. We must be professional. There are ethics to the profession. But be it as it may, I do not think it is in the hand of the government at whatever level and the security agencies to pick journalists at will. No, that is unacceptable. They should allow us to do our job. And if they feel offended, the laws are adequate.
All right, before we go, let's look at the story. I still don't know my exact age of Obasanjo. Okay, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has declared that he doesn't know his real age. However, he stated that he could judge from those who are his primary school mates, saying 6 of them are still alive, and none of them is less than 90 years. The former president, who spoke in an interview series, he declared that he set up the Presidential Library to preserve institutional memory, keep records of things, adding, "We have digitalized over 3 million materials. We still have about the same number to digitalize." He stated that the library, okay, let's back to the main story. I still don't know my age. There's a quote, but I will judge from those who were in school, Mr. Salami.
Well, Baba should not bother about his real age. After all, he has achieved all that one would have loved to achieve in life. And he's still kicking. The other time he was playing football. And the other time I saw him dancing this carry body. Or is it Asonto? He should thank God that he has lived a good life. And is still in good health. Although some of us who are close to some of his children know that Baba is now coming back home now. Because all those that call him Egbon are over 90. Of course, we know quite some of them in Abeokuta. They always call him Egbon, and they are over 90. And there's no way Baba will say that he's in his late 80s. But be it as it may, let's leave that as it is. At least he has told us that he doesn't know his exact age. But chances are that it's over 90 to something.
All right. I think let's see this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lawrence.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I greet to our dad here, Mr. Salami.
Okay. Abayomi.
Mr. Salami, greeting to our dad here, Mr. Salami.
All right, please go ahead. You didn't tell us your name.
Yeah, my name is Musbau Salami.
Salami. Okay, you're calling back. Please make it 60 seconds, please.
Okay, sir. I just want to greet you people for well done job. That's it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Salam. We really appreciate your continued patronage of the station. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Salami, for your intervention. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, we thank our super citizen listeners. Please keep calling and have a wonderful week ahead.
All right, that's our package for today. The program returns tomorrow, 7 a.m. bright and early. My name is Lawrence Omoite. Good morning.